good, everybody? Um, I just thought I had some, kind of had some post-election thoughts and kind of just thoughts going on into the future, just in general, that I wanted to speak on, just because, like, I love it. And I don't know. I think something that we need to be wary of as a human species is that we're definitely under attack right now. Not one specific group within the human species, just the human species itself is under attack right now, currently in history. And I think that's something that we need to be willing to talk about and acknowledge first and foremost, and to be even more clear on who's attacking us. It is our own species. It is our own species. There is a specific group in the regard of who's doing the attacking. The attacking are the wealthy. The people that don't have to worry about money. They can buy their way into anything that they want or need. They have a lot of connections. They can, essentially get by with committing crimes against humanity all throughout the world. Big companies, big wealthy people, I think, here are the ones that are currently attacking the whole human species currently right now. And I think, as I acknowledge that, I think there are basically maybe a couple of things that we need to keep in mind as we are addressing our attack, or their attack on us, should I say. What only really matters at the end of the day is where you spend your time, your energy, your money, literally any resource, any of your valuable resources, your attention, all of that. That's all what ultimately matters at the end of the day when it comes to this attack that we're under right now. And if you really want to make a difference in the world, and especially in your own life, you start with yourself by paying attention to where you spend your time, your energy, your money, whatever. That's where you look to first, because that right there is going to be a big determining factor in how the world, in how the world's direction changes. You know what I'm saying? And gives us a better chance at getting somewhere else. Truly, at the end of the day, it's all about money. And unless you're buying yourself some good food from the store, putting gas in your car, paying your bills, unless you're doing those things, like, everything else is unnecessary consumption. And it's just for the sake of consuming. And I'm not saying nobody can enjoy their life, but we can't also complain about the state of the world and not take these things seriously. I think it's very important where we watch, where we spend our dollar. That's why, it doesn't make sense to me to be so, you gotta vote. And it's like, going and circling in on a ballot, that's not the only thing that we could be doing to put ourselves in a better position as a species. And so I think it's just like, dude, like, all the buying clothes online or shopping in person, like, all of that stuff has to cease. Like, all of it does, all of it. These companies, they're overcharging you as it is for this stuff. They're overcharging you as it is. The people that work for them are being underpaid. They're destroying the planet in the process of making these products for all of us. Like, there are literally so many downsides to participating. And there's just so many different downsides. And I think that's why we need to take this more seriously, man. Take it way, way more seriously than what we're already doing. It is like, when you think about it like that, and the different ways that companies like Amazon or Shein or whatever, how they're affecting our planet and how they're affecting literally their own species, the human species. It's crazy stuff. And it's like, it's the same thing with food, and of course, like, it is what it is, because ultimately you just got to go home and make your own food, because You can't even go out and go get a nice meal without having to worry about, is there seed oils in it? Is there red 40 in it? Is there maltodextrin in it? You know, like, I shouldn't have to worry about that stuff when I want to go out and just get me a nice meal, bro. Like, that shouldn't have to be on my mind. Like, that shouldn't have to be a thing, and yet it is. It's the same thing when you go in the grocery store. Literally, you go in there, you want some cereal. What if you want waffles or something? You can't even get that. You got alcohol, like glycol. It's another way to say alcohol, like glycol something. That's in there, like Bluetooth, and like, it's like, what can we have? Like, what can we literally have? Like, what can we have? So when you go in the grocery store, you basically just got to get animal products and plant products. Those are really the only things that you should be getting out of the grocery store at this point. And even then, that stuff can have pesticides, bad animal practices. It's like, it's so hard to live simply. It's so hard. And even though things are set up to where it's like it would discourage people and make it hard, we still can with intention. And that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't do any extra shop. Like, I'm not about to go and buy clothes and all that. No, for what? I have clothes. If you need clothes, go to a thrift store. It's way cheaper, better for the environment. You only need but so many pairs of clothes and shoes. And when you realize that none of that stuff matters anyways, it makes it a lot easier to not have to give it to that consumerism. You know, it's just, whether it's technology or kids' toys or whatever the case may be, it's all trash and it's all gotta go, bro. Like, it's all gotta go. It all literally has to go. We have to vote with our dollar. Vote with where are you spending your money? Like, that right there is affecting you way more. I promise you, that is affecting you in ways you don't even understand. And that's why we need to take that more seriously, bro. I think that's the main way of, like, where you're spending your money, what you're watching on Instagram and YouTube and all this other stuff on social media. Like, you're feeding into that stuff too, you know what I'm saying? Watching that as well. Like, I don't watch things that, you know, aren't about knowledge. And I'm not saying you have to watch documentaries all day and that's the only thing you could watch, but just, it's good to not have your mind clouded with trash. Because if you're sitting around and watching reality TV all day, you know, all that stuff is about materialism and consumerism and about needing to look a certain way. So why wouldn't you want to go and shop at Shein or wherever the case may be? Because everything that you watch, whether that be online or whether that be on TV, is literally trash. So it's just like, that's why it's so important where you spend your time and energy, because it's feeding a whole nother machine and a whole nother system that you may not be able to see from up front, because you're like, oh, this isn't hurting anything. I'm just enjoying my life and I'm just doing me. But that's not always how it works. It's not always how it goes. So I think, you know, from here on out, it's very, very important that we watch where we're spending our money, watch what we're doing in our spare time, and, you know, perhaps trying to surround ourselves around people who are encouraging us to better ourselves, and in turn that's gonna help better the world, you know. But yeah, I just had to say my 2 piece on that, because it's crazy stuff. But stay vigilant out here.